Hello and welcome back everyone to episode 2 of my top 10 Scrolls decks. Today we'll be looking at a deck which I created purely as a joke for an ESL tournament many years ago and somehow came third. The deck was, at the time, was purely constructed of like the worst unused cards in Decay, and actually it proved effective. So I since worked on it, and this is the version it's got to now. It's called Yolo Decay. It's basically an aggro Decay deck. As I said, it uses many scrolls which people initially dismissed, but in this sort of package, it's actually very effective. I believe it has potential to actually be like one of the best decks in the game. Because once you get going, there's just no way your opponent can stop the direct idle damage. It's insane. But yeah, as before, we'll take a quick look at the deck, and then we'll have a quick game, and then we'll go through some budgeting and deck choice items if you want to alter the deck to play against a more aggressive opponent or a more controlly opponent. So to begin with, we'll start by looking at the creatures. I've got 8 of the creatures here. There are 2 or 3 other creatures which are in different categories, but these are the main bulk of them. We'll start off with Infected Gravelock. It's a 1-drop, and it costs 1 decay. And it's a 2/2/2, which is incredible value. It's also poisonous, so whenever it deals damage to a creature or a creature deals damage to it, they become poisoned, so that's extra value. The only downside with this is that it has move 0, but in terms of an initial turn 1 threat, it is the strongest creature in the game, is it? It could be. It's up there with Dust Runner. But in terms of pure stats, 2/2/2, you can't go wrong. The poisonous ability is great. Move 0, yes, that's annoying. But hey, you trade it for the ability to have strong stats. Then we've got Mire Shambler, which is a 3/2/1 for 1, which is, again, very high attack for its cost. Before attacking, it moves to a random adjacent tile. So that adjacent tile movement does mean that we can't necessarily always guarantee where it will be hitting. But we can use it to our advantage and sort of surround it with our other creatures to make it move where we want to go. 1 health is obviously very weak, so it does die to a lot of stuff. But again, it's an early attacker, which can threaten a lot of our opponent's stuff. Then we've got Ripper, which is just a plain 2/2/2 for 1. So Infected Gravelock without the poisonous and move 0. Again, a very, very strong first turn option. And they've got Boghound and Miremare, which are similar. Boghound's a bit better early on, it's a 2/2/3, whereas Miremare's a 2/2/2. But both got Dominion, so whenever our opponent has an idle down, Dominion is activated. So Boghound will become a 5/3 because it gets +3 attack. Miremare will get +2 attack and +3 health, so it'll be a 4/5. So Boghound can hit for 5, Miremare hits for 4, and has 5 health, which for both of them costing 2, it's very good value. Then we've got Harvester, which everyone knows about. 8/5/4 with Relentless. It's insane value. It doesn't count down, but when a creature is destroyed, its countdown does go down by 1. You're not really looking to play this too early on in this version. You really want to spam your creatures as quickly as possible first, and then this sort of helps get you over the line. But it's always a useful option to have. And then we've got Ilmir Roteater. It's a 3/2/3. The opponent adjacent to a creature is destroyed. It gets +1 attack and +1 health. This is really, really good against growth because they struggle to deal with this. Energy, you might want to try and buff it up first to avoid burn, but it can be insane value, getting incredibly high attack and health. A Mudo Fighter, it's a 4/2/2, high attack for its cost, but it's got magic resistance too, so it is safe to energies removal. Decay, it can be a bit vulnerable to Soul Steal, and then growth and order can bash through, but against energy, it is a very good card. Next, we'll look at the removal. Because we're an aggro deck, we're not running too many. We're only running 5 scrolls, which we define as removal. So that's 3 Soul Steal and 2 Damning Curse. Soul Steal destroys the target creature with health 2 or less, and then summons a Mire Shambler, so we get some value back. It just helps us fight against aggressive decks early on. Then Damning Curse costs 4, and it has taxing 1, so we're only running 2, because otherwise we're in trouble. And it also for damage that it deals to our units, we really feel, because we're all quite low health. But there are situations where you need to remove bigger threats from your opponent, so it comes in handy there. Next, we've got 5 cards, scrolls rather, I keep saying cards, which are Some of our direct idle damage package. Got 15 cards, 15 scrolls. That's 30% of our deck are sort of tailored to deal as much damage to our opponent's idols as possible without attacking them. So we've got Wicked Being, which has Unstable 2. So we're going to enchant one of our creatures, and when it dies, it deals 2 damage to our opponent's idol. Law Darkling, again, it's got Unstable 2, 1, 2, 2, and we can blow it off at its countdown 0. So that's 6, 12 damage we got there, which we can do to our opponent's idol. Our Heart's Disciple, 3, 2, 3, and when it deals damage to a unit, our opponent's idol on the same row has dealt 1 damage, so even if our opponent has something blocking it, we can still find a way to get through for damage to the idol. Forbidden Ruins, Linger 5, that's irrelevant, but all non-combat damage against idols is increased by 1. So suddenly that's Unstable 3, that's Unstable 3, that's dealing 2 damage. So really it can rack up. If we're struggling to find that extra bit of damage, we can really just spam the damage with these. Finally got Regenerature, left it for last because we really want to discuss it with Forbidden Ruins. Enchanted unit gets +2 health, and when it comes into play, the idol behind this is dealt 1 damage. Really, we're looking to use this early on to protect our creatures from our opponent's removal and our opponent's early aggressive creatures. And later in the game, we can combine it with Forbidden Ruins just to spam 3 of these for 6 damage for, very little resources. So it's sort of double effect, but both are quite relevant in this deck. And then lastly, we've got 2 enchantments here. We've got Hexmarks and Essence Garb. Hexmarks has Idol Strike 3. So when the creature deals damage to our opponent's idol, it deals 3 extra damage. So suddenly our 3 attack, our Heart's Disciple does 6 damage to our idol, which is insane. Great value just for 1. And then Essence Garb, just +1 attack, +1 health for 2. With Dominion, it gives an extra +2 and + health. So it's an enchantment which can give +3/+3, which just sticking on a Marshamble or something, suddenly you've got a 6/4. It's insane value. And we can get these buffed with Dominion very early on thanks to Hexmarks and the direct idol damage we're doing with our aggressive creatures. So yes, all in all, that is the deck. We've got a very aggressive Decay deck, which even if it does sort of run out of steam towards the end, it still has a way of finishing our opponent's idols off through its direct idol damage. We'll hop into the game now and I'll show you what it's all about. Okay, so for this example game, we've actually got a real opponent in Tuakak. So, hi, good luck. We don't have a turn 2 currently, but we are going first. We've got a 1-drop and a 3-drop. So we'll go with Infected Gravelock to start. Play it right at the front just because I've got movement 0, and we want to try and avoid having awkward movement shenanigans later in the game. And obviously we want to start off by attacking the middle because that is the best idol to attack. Let's see what we're facing. We're facing against Decay. We do get a 2-drop, so that's good. Soulsteel, not too many targets in Decay, so we'll get rid of that. We'll just go for pure aggression. Mudo Fighter we're probably going to get rid of next turn because we do want to avoid Soulsteel and Brain Lies. See what we're up against here. Could be an Ilmir Tribesman Languid. Tethered Recruit, so it's a Decay and Order deck. Okay, so we'll get rid of Mudo Fighter. See, in normal gameplay, I'd look to move down here and try and be aggressive against our opponent's creatures, but we're going to stick with it being aggressive against our opponent's idols here. And play Verotito. And stay in the middle. So this is sort of how I used to play old school, so we'd try and just hold the centre. If he wants to move up, we have the option of moving down, so it's kind of making him come to us, which he's doing. Plays out a Ripper, okay. And another Tethered Recruit. So if we do kill this, he does get the Order, which he's probably be after. However, I have the option of a Harvester, and I don't really want him to take out the Infected Gravelock. So we will just move in here. Gladly accept the trade. I think the option of having Harvester here is great if he's looking just to kind of trade early creatures. Okay, so you had a poor turn there. Forbidden Ruins we can get rid of here, we've got 3 in the deck. Another Infected Gravelock and a Wicked Being. Okay, so coming in for 5, bringing this down to 3. We'll move up, play another Infected Gravelock, which I think we'll play here. Just in terms of movement, it makes things a lot better. We'll get a Marinare in. So round 5, we've got 6 creatures down. We dealt 7 damage. Normally with this deck you do just get up to 3 Decay and start sacking for scrolls. Very rarely do you go up to 4 to cast anything other than Damning Curse. You might go up to 4 to cast, I don't know, 2/2 drop creatures. Or normally when you're trying to finish the game off, do some unstable shenanigans. That is in my way. Now, I think we're far enough ahead on creatures here. Our deck's filled with creatures, so we can afford to sack Ripper here. And we do get a better one in our Heart's Disciple. Now, we can try and attack the Boghound here, however, I don't think we need to. I'm happy just attacking the creatures, sorry, the idols. So we will move up here, go with that plan, and we'll go with our Heart's Disciple. Wicked being Regenerator, we've got 3 damage in hand should we need it. This just keeps the pressure on. Puppet Soldier, what's this, Horn of Ages? It is, okay. Now, do we have any plans against this? Double Regenerator on this will keep us safe for now. Let's go with Mudo Fighter. We'll get a Hex Marks, okay. Let's have a think. There's no way around this, really. We're doing 2 damage here, and I'll make it poisonous, so this will die from this naturally. We're going to lose 3 creatures here, so Harvest is going to go off probably next turn. We probably is going to go with... I want to play a creature and one of these which cost 1. So it's Boghound or Miremare. I think we'll go with Boghound. Miremare is much better once we've got the idol down. And then we'll just play the Hex Marks, I think. Now, this will die to the Blightbearer eventually from Poisonous, but no, you're too late now. So we've actually got some idle damage down here. So we've done 5, 6, 7, 14 damage. Round 7. We're losing this here. Oh, look at you, Franconi. There you go. But this was kind of stuck anyway. But this way he does poison his own creatures, which seems a bit silly, but there you go. That's fine. Horn of Ages for reserve. Okay. So we'll take out this idol here. It's annoying. Kind of really wants to take out this one because we've got the Hex Marks on here. However, now we can drop Miremares. Take out this one. We'll go with Miremare here. Can't move that, can I? Because of Horn of Ages. Okay. And then what else do we want to do? We could just play Wicked Being, I think, on here. So Dominion goes off. We're now buffed up. Harvest is down to 3 thanks to those poisonous guys dying. What's it? Stitcher. I haven't seen that in ages. Living Seeker. Okay, so although that's a really good card, that's very slow at the moment for him. So we're going to start trying to prioritise our unstable creatures here. We'll take out the Oblivion Seeker just because it's in the way, effectively. Loyal Darkling here, and another Wicked Being, which I think we'll play on the... Good play on the Loyal Darkling, so we're guaranteed to take out this idol. But I think we can finish that off with a Regenerator. We want to be very efficient with our unstable here, so we'll play another Wicked Being. This time we'll play it on the Harvester, just in case it's got damage curse. So we have got Essence Garb next turn, which will buff things up by 3. So we get into a stage where our early aggression is paying off. However, he's got more resources now, so he can spam the board with more help, more creatures. I'm trying to say. So we need to be very calculated on how we go about doing things here. Do have a Damning Curse, so we can set off the Harvester here. Can we win in any other way? I think we do just... definitely damning cursing. Question of whether I could damning curse on one of these things instead. Which I can, can't I? If I damning curse here, unstable will go off, and we win. So round 10. So a pretty quick win there. Not the fastest I've ever had, but we played the game effectively. Good game to a cack. Okay, so finally just to round up the deck, it comes in at the moment to about 154,769 gold, according to today's black market prices, which is, I think, the second cheapest deck I've got to show off to you. That price is heavily inflated by Soulsteel and Damning Curse. Soulsteel currently costing 15,640 gold, and Damning Curse 31,111. So if even 150,000 is too high up for you in terms of price, there are some alternatives for you. You can replace Soulsteel with another card, which I'll just try and remember what it's called. It's called Deathly Grasp. It's a spell. Target creature gets Slayer until end of turn, so you still get the removal option. It's not as good as Soulsteel, but it has other applications too. And then you can also replace Damning Curse with Stitcher. You need both cards have a way of setting off our own unstable creatures. So really I wanted a way to set off that as well. Since we don't have Damning Curse or Soulsteel, so Stitcher can help do that, destroy our own creatures to set off the unstable, and also help set off Harvester and provide buffs elsewhere, which is also quite nice. This deck is also already incredibly aggressive, so when facing against aggro decks, it's pretty hard. Normally the tactic is to go a bit bigger in terms of curve, but we don't really have that option with this deck. So the tactics I've come up with are really just to sort of reduce the level of unstableness in the deck, if you like. So removing 3 Wicked Being and 3 Forbidden Ruins from the deck in order to add in 3 Arthritis and 3... how on earth do you pronounce this? Is it Excurgator? Expurgator, however you pronounce it. That thing. Aggro decks tend to run some enchantments, so it's good to have some enchantment removal. And Arthritis is sort of the cheapest way of removing our opponent's stuff that we have. It costs 1, but on average it probably do 2 damage once our opponent's attacked, which is, I think, pretty good value. So it allows us to drop a creature turn 3, a 2-drop, and then also enchant our opponent's creatures to remove them. So it's a good trade-off there, getting good value from our scrolls. If you're playing against against control decks, there's not really much you can take out because we're already pretty heavily teched against them. You can take out Soulsteel because there won't be many targets for that. And then really it's tailoring it to what you think you're facing. You can add in some Beetle Stones, another structure which has got Unstable 2, so increasing our unstable damage. You can add in Slithering Form if you're facing a deck which has got quite a few structures. That'll provide magic resistance 2 and allow us to pass through our enemy structures to deal direct idle damage. And finally we've got Searing Shackles as well. It's another option to attack against our opponent's heavy structure builds, if you like. You can add in that as well. All depends on how you want to go. So yeah, that is the deck. Yolo Decay, one of my favourites. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.